So first let me introduce Charvette Mitchell. She's the owner of Mitchell Productions, where she helps female entrepreneurs who in particular really struggle with attracting attention and exposure for their brand to build their online platform and do something we all want to do, make money. She does this as a social media coach, a web designer, author, speaker, and she has her own 10-year running, 10, radio show called the Charvette Mitchell Radio Show. So there you go. You can look that one up. I've actually had the pleasure, thank you for being on that show. Her tagline is, let's build something amazing. I love that, and that's what she lives up to. You can find all about what Charvette is up to at her website, which is mitchell-productions.com. Also, there's a business card in front of you. Next, we have Shannon Loy, owner of The Social Ginger, and she understands that small business owners, may not have time to eat your lunch, let alone do sparkling content on social media that so engages people can't take their eyes off of it. Well, that's what she and her team do, is they take that time and they use the time on your behalf and the expertise. So the idea is to create really active and effective social media programs for your business to get the results that you want. And then once it's up and running, you can decide to manage it yourself, or her team can manage it on an ongoing basis as well, so that you're getting those brand results, those marketing results. You can find more about The Social Ginger at thesocialginger.com. I love how they make this so easy. Okay, so now with social media, Charvette, I'm going to ask you first. Okay, I want to start with you because you work with a lot of women who are women entrepreneurs starting out. Right, yes. And they are, they might be a couple years in, but they're relatively new. And they've been on social media, perhaps personally, right? Mm-hmm. But now they're looking at it for their business, and they have a different lens that they're looking through on that one. What are the most common reasons I should even start to use social media for my business? How do I know what to work on first? If I say yes, what do I do first? What's your answer to that?
I was at something similar to this marketing symposium with authors, and there was a gentleman in the far back corner who raised his hand and he said, I'm writing a book, but I don't have anything to sell right now. Should I be on social media? Similar to this question that you're asking. And so I said to him, my favorite quote by H. Jackson Brown, opportunity only dances with those already on the dance floor. And so with social media, we no longer have a choice. Jocelyn and I were talking about this right before we started. You don't have a choice anymore. Your consumer, those that support you, your customers, they have an expectation to find you on social media. A lot of times with small businesses starting, or even as you're trying to scale, it's high referral. A lot of people that are coming, you can pay for radio, you can pay for all these different things, but the referral is still heavy. The referral engine is still heavy, and people go to social media and say, hey, you need to talk to Angela. You need to connect with Dr. Norris, and they're going to go look you up on Facebook. So that's why you have to have some presence and something about your business on Facebook because of the referral alone. And your consumers have an expectation to find you there.
Oh, I love it. Does it matter what kind of dance we do?
Just be on the dance floor.
Okay, all right.
You pick the dance.
Okay, so Shannon, I know that you work with a lot of small businesses where they're up and going and but now they want to have a social media presence, or they want to have a more effective social media presence. But platforms keep changing.
Yeah, they do.
New features keep appearing. How do I know if I should pursue any of these, what seems like either shiny objects or maybe it just doesn't work anyway that it used to last week? And so, how do I adapt to that or deal with that as a small business owner?
So I definitely know it can get very overwhelming. You think about all the different platforms that are out there and you're like, should I be on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, LinkedIn, all those different options, right? So my theory when people ask me that question is like, don't be the jack kind of halfway on all of them, you want to be a master of at least one or two of them, because it doesn't represent you well as a company to have a little bit of this and that on a lot of different platforms, because if someone goes and looks at it, they're like, oh, they're not happening. There's not a lot of activity on here, right? So what I usually say is my number one go-to is Facebook. And even though the organic reach on there has just hit the floor, it is a pay-to-play platform mostly these days. However, with great content, you can get some great stuff happening. I say do that one because it's almost like a website.
Yeah.
It's another extension of your brand, and people go to it. Like Charvette said, they immediately go to Facebook, they check you out, they may review you, and you don't want to kind of be, kind of there. You want to be all in, right? So, that's what I tell people. I'm like, look at what is your business model, what are going to be the platforms that are going to be best for your company, and then go to those, maybe pick 2, start, get the hang of things, get the flow, because social media can be a time suck, right?
Absolutely.
You get in there, next thing you know, it's like, okay, I actually got to run my business now, so having maybe 2 of them and really rocking those is what I would suggest.
Okay.
So
all right.
Yeah.
And just to drill down quickly on the Facebook, when you're talking about that presence and like a website, are you specifically referring to, hey, create a business page, Facebook page? Obviously, that has to be off of a personal page, so you may have a personal account on Facebook. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, exactly.
It can't just be your personal showing up on Facebook. It needs to be more than that?
Yeah, because you want to keep them divided, But yeah, you want to definitely get your business page up and running and start posting on that page.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Sure. So a little bit strategic thinking here, right? That goes into, it's just not being on Facebook, it's thinking about what I heard was who is, you said, what's best for your business?
Yeah.
What you're trying to achieve. All right, so we're convinced we've got to be on social media, okay? I want to talk a little bit more about the posts, right? Whether it's Facebook, whether it's LinkedIn, whether it's Instagram, whether it's Twitter, whether it's fill in the blank of something that hasn't been created yet or is going to be top of mind. What types of things should I post, Charvette, related to my business? Give me some examples of really effective things to post about.
Okay, good. You want to tell the story of your business. You want to bring people into what's going on. So one thing that you want to do is behind the scenes. Any type of behind the scenes. Take out your camera. I'm in the back fixing candles. I'm in the back doing oils. We're at the newspaper. We're putting together this, article. So the behind the scenes, not all of the really like staged and pretty professional shots, but just something with your camera, a quick video, of bringing them along for the ride. So behind the scenes types of pictures and videos are doing very, very well. Also testimonials. So it's good for us to talk about our business and say, oh, we're good and we're great. But when your customer is saying it, people base their opinions and their buying decisions on reviews, like heavily. And so if you can showcase a customer giving you props, even if they commented on your page, you can kind of take a picture of that and repost it. So testimonials do very well. And then I gotta say, Facebook Live, any kind of way you can do Facebook Live or any type of live streaming is going to get you a lot of attention. A lot of people are scared of it, but it really is one of the highest things that gets a lot of attention because people like that live, like what's gonna happen? What's happening next? Like, is she gonna trip? Is she gonna, what's gonna happen? No, literally, I had a customer she had this fumble. She went on Facebook Live and she fumbled and she said, oh, I'm gonna delete it. I said, no, don't delete it. And she said, you're right. I went back and it was one of the highest viewed videos because something happened. And so people like that. So those 3 things, definitely behind the scenes, testimonials, and any kind of Facebook Live or live.
So I used to hear, and maybe all of you have too, again and again, we'll post articles that are, a lot of content that can help them be helpful and educate them or help them with their business or share your expertise of what, that you do. I didn't hear that in the top 3.
Well, you do that. You can do that in the top 3. So if you're doing behind the scenes, you bring in your expertise. If you're showcasing a testimonial, they're telling about your expertise.
True.
Facebook Live or any type of live streaming, you can give tips and embed your expertise. So it really is interwoven in all of those. And I didn't want to take up too much time, so I didn't keep.
Oh well, I appreciate it.
But you can embed it in.
Okay. Well, because we heard that definitely a lot. Okay, so That's what to post. Now, there are other platforms like LinkedIn. Does that have a live component? Facebook Live, a live video component now?
They do. LinkedIn does have a live video component. It's not the same as Facebook. So when you go live, it's actually recording a video and then it posts onto your page.
Okay, got
so any video content on LinkedIn is doing very well.
So it's, I've been kind of watching this organic reach versus non-organic reach scenario, and Facebook, I know for sure, does not like it when you refer off of the platform. So, and that brings a struggle in my mind because, I'm very big on blogs and writing blogs and sharing those, but those aren't doing as well as, say, a video. Now, I think there's a place for that in the mix, but those are more challenging, especially like if you're referring to blogs that are maybe not your own blogs, but they're blogs that pertain to the subject matter of your company or something. Those I find are not doing really great. The other thing I would stay away from, so you want to make sure that you keep your business separate from your personal. So, having a business Instagram page, having a business Facebook page, those are a really good idea. And you don't want to mix the two as much as possible. Now, that being said, it is helpful to share stuff off of your business page onto your personal page because that, a lot of the folks that are on your personal page are there because they like you, they're connected with you, and some of us are more free with allowing folks to follow us on our personal pages. So, that can help. But the thing you want to watch out for is staying, don't do political posts, stay away from controversial things because you never know who you're going to offend or, outcast in some manner or that kind of thing. So you want to keep it kind of clean and happy and cheery because people want things happy and cheery, So, other than that, I'm trying to think through some other, I don't know, other ideas. You just making sure that you stay really solid with your brand. Anything outside of that gets a little sticky, So just, keep that focus of what your message is.
Let me ask you a follow-on then about, all right, so links that are part of a post, right? You have this copy, it might be an image it might be a video, and then, hey, let's face it, you'd love to drive them to your website, right? We built these beautiful websites. You build websites,
Yes.
I didn't spend all that money and time just to have them stay on the Facebook or LinkedIn. So I'm curious then, is that, you said you were kind of mixed on that. Can I overcome that by paying for advertisement or paying the dollars to put it in front of people anyway?
Yeah,
Is that how you work around it?
Yeah, and the other thing is I'm a big emoji fan. So copy, if you're trying to share an outside link, whether it be your own blog or another blog or a video that
Or
is
maybe
like
an
on
event
YouTube
like this one,
or an
go
event,
register.
yeah. Come up with some clever copy. So that can help you a little bit better with organic reach. And in that copy, put emojis. So, curious, how many of you guys use emojis right now? Yeah, so people ask me why do I use emojis? Because they stop the scroll. Because otherwise your stuff just blends in with everybody else's. But if you put some kind of fun thing on there or a call out or something, then it will cause people to pause and maybe pay more attention to what you have and what you want to share. And then if you're doing that, what happens with the algorithm, like on Facebook, if somebody pays attention immediately and they like it, then that causes Facebook to treat it on a higher level. So then all of a sudden you're getting more organic reach because people are engaging with it. Because Facebook wants engaging content. So that's a really good strategy. Now, you talked about the Facebook advertising aspect, So, that is also very helpful because Facebook, in a sense, and Instagram, and they want you to pay to play. So if you have something that's really important that you want to drive attention to and drive people to your website, which is the goal, then you probably want to consider boosting something or running an ad.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, Charvette, do you use often or recommend to your clients GIFs? You ever know what a GIF is? That's it's a little 2-3 second, if that, animation, and they're really popular. You can search on them. Okay.
Yes, so they work really well in comments, and again, it's that stopping the scroll. So if someone comments with a GIF, and it's usually like somebody dancing or somebody running or Forrest Gump or little clips from movies that you can find like right in Facebook. And so it stops that scrolling because it brings attention to that actual post. So yeah, definitely in the comments, utilize those, and it makes you stand out. Because if there are like 10 people that have commented, then you're going to stand out if you have the GIF or the GIF. Some people say.
And it's fun. Yeah, raise your hands. How many people have had like the battle of the GIFs back and forth? Text or all right, otherwise, exactly. Oh yeah, I got another one. That's funny. I got one too. Okay, yeah, guilty as well. Okay, so another question for you, Charlotte. We live in a very stylized world. You were talking about the behind the scenes is the not so stylized part that brings people in. And there's a lot of messages about being authentic, right, in there. So you were saying, tell us a little bit more about, can we do this mixed message? Is it effective? And if so, any more tips about how to do that? Because I'm telling you, celebrities, they're like, the celebrity world we live in, it just makes it look like you have to be perfect, right? And yet, we're not.
Right. So visual, that's a part of visual branding.
Okay.
So you want to think about, there are a few things that you do need to have: professional pictures. Your headshot should be professional. For your business, you have professional graphics. Things like these backdrops, these are professionally done. So you do want to have some key marketing elements, your cover images and the profile, logos. Those are things you want to have professionally done because you do have a business. And so that's the expectation, is that it is a professional visual branding that you're putting together. But then you're able to mix in the comments, in things that you post, in videos, those authentic moments of the behind the scenes. And customers get that. But initially when they come to you, a customer is going to judge your business and what you have to offer off of that first impression. And so McDonald's, Target, all of the big brands, even though they're on social media, you still see their crisp branding. So in a nutshell, make sure your cover image and your profile, and you have some logos and a few professional graphics, and then everything else you can mix in those behind the scenes things.
Okay, all right, that sounds cool. Now that mixing in, you work with a lot of small businesses, Shannon, that don't have time. That's what I heard from Cece, right? About the time. If she was just able to get, dressed into work and her kids off to school, things are going to be good, right? Okay. And I was talking earlier with you, Dorothy, about time, or Jennifer, right? It's the time. So, what are some cool tools? Because your team works with a lot of, tools to help with managing that time around getting social media out there, posts. What are some things you suggest?
So number one, there are a ton of tools out there. As much as there is a ton of apps, there are some certain go-tos that I like and that I like to recommend to my clients. So my suggestions, there's others that other people like to use. I'm sure Charvette has some other favorites and that kind of thing. But generally the ones that I think are the most helpful are going to be some sort of a content management system where you can schedule out your posts ahead of time. So you can Monday morning, an hour, just knock them out, put your posts on there. And those would be like Hootsuite and Buffer. Both you can get a free, basic version where you can have 3 platforms on there. So if you just want to schedule out your Facebook, your Twitter, your Instagram, you can do that, and it will push it out there for you. And the other side note with that, if you have 4 platforms that you're using, of course you can schedule on Facebook. So then you do that on Facebook, and then you do the other ones like Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram, and do those on Hootsuite. So you can figure out a combination to schedule things, right, and keep it free because we like free. The other ones that I would suggest would be some sort of a graphic design creator tool. Canva.com is a really great tool, and I'll tell you, I don't know if you saw this, Charvette, but they're now doing a beta test with folks that are already on Canva where you can schedule stuff on Canva. Ooh. So they've got a new content scheduler that's rolling out, which I think is completely smart on their end. So Canva
is big.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it is slick. You can bring your own content in, so you have your own pictures, images. They have templates. You can slide stuff in there, put your logo in there, text. You can get a free setup on that. You can also pay for it, which is very minimal. I think it's like $12.95 a month for the paid version.
$15.
And you can get stock images on there, and they've got free stuff. It's fantastic. So check that out. A new one I just discovered is also called Easel. It's EASIL. And for those of you who have used Canva for a really long time, such as myself, and I discovered Easel, I was just like in heaven because they've got all these new templates. They do IG story templates. They have, I mean, they also do GIFs. They do GIFs on Easel.
So IG, hold on, let's look at the acronym, fill
Yeah.
here.
Oh, yeah,
IG
Instagram.
stands for Instagram. There you go. Okay, good.
How did you spell
so-
the first one? I'm sorry to interrupt.
The first one was Canva, CANVA,
Okay.
and the second one's Easel, EASIL. And so highly recommend those. And then the other one would be video. So a really great video tool that I love near dear is Animoto. It's super affordable. It's like $22 a month. You can do like unlimited video. You get it in 1080. It's very clear, easy templates. Highly recommend it. And you can try it for free and see if you like it. And then if you do, you can get the paid version. So,
What
yeah.
does it do that? What
So the thing about Animoto is that you use all of your own content. So you upload, if you use your phone, for instance, you're out there capturing, something, whether it be yourself or an event or whatever, and then you also get a bunch of images and you want to just put together this really cool little snazzy video. It already has templates together that you can just slide stuff in, put logos in there. It's very well formatted, very easy to edit and adjust. They've got a bunch of stock music in there, so you don't have to go hunt down music, and fonts and looks and all that good stuff. And so it's really straightforward and really easy to build a video on there. Yeah. So there you have it. I think that's
I love that.
that's the big round. Video, graphics, and scheduling content. Those can really help out a lot.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, so speaking of video, I'm going to ask one more question. We're going to take a break after that. And the question goes to you, Shervin, because you brought up about Facebook Live. There's a lot of people who go, I've heard I should do Facebook Live, or let's just apply this to any live video streaming, all right, whatever the platform. And, all right, it's easy to get scared, easy to feel like you're just fumbling over your words, feeling stupid, and then I don't do it. So give us some tips on how to start in a way that we don't feel foolish. How about that? Because we don't really want to be the person tripping up on live. Okay. Anyway,
This is a great question. So let me affirm you that most people have fear about Facebook Live. So you are not alone. So one thing that you can do is when you go live, Facebook or any of the live streaming, the camera doesn't have to be on you. So you can be almost press, you can be almost media and have the camera away from you. And again, if it's at behind the scenes or you're at an event or you're a customer just bought something, you want to get a quick testimonial, so the camera doesn't have to be on you. So that usually takes a little bit of the pressure off. The second thing is you can have someone do the video with you. So then you're not having the weight of delivering this great content by yourself. So, and again, whether that's somebody that works with you, a customer, or what have you, have someone go live with you. And then there's a way you can test and kind of play with live video without actually going live first. And so if you're on Facebook in particular, there's an option for all of your posts, whether it's public or friends can see it. There's an option if you scroll that says only me. Only I can see this. So you can do kind of a test, hit the go live and just put only me. Test how you look, because sometimes like, where do I look? Am I looking this way? What am I looking at? What does the screen look like? And you can test it out, and then that'll build your confidence up to actually go live and let other people see you.
that's great. Yeah. All right. Cool. All right. So I'm going to ask this one to you, Shannon. I hear younger folks are more on Instagram than Facebook. Do you find this the case?
Yes.
Find younger. Tell me more.
Gosh, what was the stat I saw? I want to say, I think it was like 80% or 85% of the folks that are on Instagram are 35 years of age or younger. Now I think that's rapidly changing, and rapidly, it will be completely different next year because Instagram is one of the fastest growing platforms right now. So, yeah, it definitely, Facebook is a solid, 30 plus, mid 30 plus, and there's some younger folk on there, but typically, like, if you're definitely focusing on younger, go Instagram for
Okay.
sure.
Anything to add to that, Charvette?
She nailed it.
All right, let's go on then. Social media appears best suited for B2C, business to consumer. How could it best be used for B2B, and which platform for B2B? I'm going to ask Charvette, you take a stab at that.
Yeah, it's because I'm B2B. So my primary business is web design, and I'm working with other businesses. And so what I found with B2B is that they use social media to vet you, to check you out before they call you. Most people want to be informed. Most business owners want to be informed about anyone else they're engaging in business with. So it's really, that's where you showcase the expertise and that behind the scenes and testimonials and how other people have been impacted with working with you, because at B2B, they're really vetting you on social media before they even pick up the phone and contact you.
So it might be that they pick up the phone, contact you, or reach out in an email, but you don't know they already went. Should I assume? Or maybe
Yes.
ask, how did you find out about me?
You can, if you have an intake process or consultation, definitely ask how did they find out, and make sure Facebook or social media is one of the options.
Okay, all right. Add to that.
Yeah. So LinkedIn I feel like LinkedIn's turned the corner on awesome. I mean, I do. I don't know about you guys.
Awesome, they need that as a core for themselves, right there.
I mean, like 2 years ago, I was kind of like, what's going on LinkedIn? But now LinkedIn is like pretty cool place to play, especially for B2B. I know me personally, because I'm B2B, I'm doing videos, great. And then just engaging. If you engage on LinkedIn with other folks that are either complementary to what you do, people that are in the same field, or potential clients, there's a lot of possibility on LinkedIn for B2B.
All right, so kind of related, maybe not. Charvette, I'm going to ask you this. Which platform is best for men versus women?
Men are on LinkedIn more. So if your customer base is men, you'll find men more. But Facebook is an even split. It's about 60 women, 40 men. So there's still a lot of men on Facebook, but men tend to be a little bit more. You'll probably engage more on LinkedIn because men are not social generally, and so there's more social going on Facebook. So that's what I was saying.
They were going to ask that question?
Twitter too. Twitter's pretty high male. But see, Twitter is not necessarily the best fit for every business model, but it is. Gosh, I want to say it's 60 men, 40 female on Twitter.
So does this also have to do with who's my ideal client?
Yes.
Male, female, not on gender, but also age, kind of also what their maybe their interests are, and then where do more of those people play?
Absolutely.
Is that the right
Yes,
question?
that is the goal, how you're setting up your goal. We had this conversation on the break. Your overall objectives and your goal, the first thing you want to think about is your target audience and where are they, and then make that your driving force of where you're going to hang out.
And I got to pipe in too, so more with Twitter. It's interesting. I've read another article about the fact that Twitter is becoming more appealing to the younger demographic. And I was like, no. And I tell you, I was interviewing a new intern, and I said, what's your favorite platform? She's a senior in college. She goes, oh, we love Twitter. And I was like, okay, well, there is my confirmation. And I said, well, why? She said, well, because, my parents are not on there. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. So it's like, it's weird. It's like this evolution. Like Twitter kind of was not cool, and now it's kind of getting more cool again.
Right.
It's weird. So that's something to consider.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
And clearly, as parents or older people, we're not cool. It's already been defined. All right. Okay. Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry. You're right. Okay, you're on Twitter, aren't you? That's right. Okay. All right. Can you post too many posts and people get tired of seeing them? That's one, First I don't have enough time, now I got to have too many posts. What do you think, Shannon?
So on Facebook, I feel like, no, because not everyone's going to see it.
Right.
So overdoing it on Facebook, I think you can do too much on Facebook in the fact that you'll draw from other posts, but I don't think people are going to see too many. LinkedIn, though, it's interesting. I have a client that really ramped up her LinkedIn presence, and there was someone that made a comment that said, "Gosh, I see you everywhere on LinkedIn." So that one could maybe, because the reach is a little bit better on there.
And the lifespan of the post on LinkedIn is longer.
Yeah.
So something you posted 2 days ago is still getting life, where versus Facebook, the lifespan is about 4 hours. Twitter, the lifespan is like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So
Got it. What about Instagram?
Instagram, I think, is close to Twitter, actually. But then they've started doing some things with the algorithm. So you go on the Instagram and you see a post that was a several hours ago. So I've seen them testing some things, like they're trying to make posts come back around. Or you'll see likes for stuff that you posted 2 or 3 days ago. And you're like, how did they see that? So I feel like Instagram is testing kind of a LinkedIn appeal.
I'm just laughing to myself because it's getting older. That's okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. Might you talk? Hold on. Let's see. Hold on that one. Okay. Okay. Is a picture automatically automatically boosted, which is a particular term, on Facebook, but word content is not? That's the question. Therefore, do words need copy only or words only posts need to be boosted? So I guess as part of this is, what I'm hearing is the difference between copy only with copy plus an image. Is there a difference in people seeing it? Can you boost either of them? And do you have any recommendation about boosting? I'm going to expand on that question. So, all right.
So I'll throw my 2 cents in.
All right.
So Facebook recommends a picture. They will say a picture is going to get more engagement. So if you do have a lot of copy or a long post, it would be better to post a picture and then include this kind of long post. And in particular, if your price point is higher for whatever your business is, whatever you're selling, people do need to be convinced more, so the words help sell them more on you. So it does make sense to have a little bit more content, but they would recommend that you have a picture or a video with that in addition to that long content. And I'll let Shannon throw in
Okay, so Facebook, I'm sure you guys have seen, has instituted this neat they have these new wallpaper feature if you type in words, and they've got these fun little backgrounds now that add color and stuff. And I think that was a way for Facebook to sort of test the viability of a post without an image. And for me, I mean, on my personal page, I incorporate that, and sometimes maybe on my business on Facebook, but I'm very much like Charvette. I'm like, you gotta have some sort of image or video or something, because the goal is stop the scroll. And I feel like just words is not gonna be enough. Even if you emoji the heck out of it, it's not, I don't think, I mean, it might, but people want to see, and I think people identify with image better.
Now, we'll throw one caveat in there that's working really well on really all of the platforms is a question. So if you just have one question for your audience, not a lot of content, and people feel like they can answer it really quickly, those are getting engagement. So if you do want to test out or put out content, just like one question, one line, because even with the little graphic that they made, the graphic or that color behind it only did it for short text. So if you got a lot to say, you're going to have to throw a picture. But if you got like one question for your audience or your customers, that is working well.
Okay.
Can I ask a question, a related question? What do you think is too long in terms of text, in terms of copy? How many words?
Yeah, so the question is, what do you think is too much copy? That's going to be a deterrent, sounds like.
I think it goes back to your product or your service. So if you have a higher priced product or service, it's really not too long. You could have several paragraphs, and some of those are actually doing well. But if you were trying to capture attention and engagement, something shorter, like one sentence, a sentence and a half, is doing well. And you might want to, if you have a lot to say, you might want to put that really on a blog and give them like a little bit of it in a picture and get them over to your website. or there's a notes feature that's on Facebook. Any of y'all use the notes feature or the post feature on LinkedIn? So it's almost like an internal blog in LinkedIn and on Facebook that allows you can just type, and it's almost like an internal blog post in those. And that might be a better option if you have a lot to say. But more than likely, you probably want to get them over to your website. So want to give them like a little bit of a snippet and then get them where you need to get them to go.
Okay. And a really clever way to deal with like a lot of text, if you want to get a point across, or maybe you're doing like a tip, or some sort of, or you do a long testimonial, or you do something where you're highlighting service with your business, I incorporate fun punctuation to kind of break it up a little bit and make it very readable. The one thing you don't want to do is have the famous wall of text, because if someone has to look at a block of text, you lost them. So if you can break it up and maybe use like little arrows or dots or something of that nature and break it up, yeah, it makes, and you can, there's a lot of really great emojis too that will make that easy, like the little hand pointer, or there's little arrows or something to kind of break it up and make it look cool. There's check marks. So, you know, get creative with your copy, and that will make a difference.
In that question was about boosting. So can you both comment about the role of boosting? Do you recommend it? And if so, when? Charlotte, do you want to?
Sure. I recommend boosting. So what a boost is, on your business page, you'll see a little blue button underneath every post and it'll say boost. And basically that's advertising. That's saying, I'm going to give Facebook $5, $20, $1,000 to make sure this post gets seen by more people. And Facebook will tell you, if you give me $5, I'm going to show this post or ensure this post is seen by 500 of the audience that you select. Or if you give me $100, I'm going to make sure 10,000 people see it. So that's basically what the boost is. So I do recommend boost. It's an introduction into the advertising. There's other ways, and Shannon can help with that, of using the ads manager. But very simply, if you want to make sure that eyes get on this one post, you can even change the $5 and go down to $1. Like there's like literally no reason not to do it. And it just ensures that people in your audience see that actual post, and you can start with $5.
Okay, you want to add to that?
Yeah, so the boosting, it's in a way it's kind of a loaded question, because I can go and talk on this forever, because I've got a lot of different that's why I have a workshop that I do all that. But the general thing about boosting is that it will get you more reach for your subject matter. The other thing that it does is it sort of drives the momentum on your page. So you'll start getting more comments, more likes, more engagement. And so if somebody's looking at your business and wanting to visit and see that, what kind of business you are and what is your topics and are people caring what you're saying, and then they see you had 50 likes on something and a couple comments, I think it makes a difference. I mean, think about it when you're looking at a page and, you see that there's a lot of engagement. It kind of makes it, that gives them the cool factor, right? So the boosting is something that's helpful for that, for sure.
Okay. So I want to talk a little bit more about goals and objectives and strategies. Okay. And the idea of, are there different strategies for different platforms? And maybe you can pick one platform or you could pick another as an example for creating the connection in the first place. One is creating the new connections, and then we hear the word engagement, but what is that really, and what are you really trying to do with that?
Absolutely. So I'll talk about Facebook.
Okay.
And so, yes, you do want to think about having a strategy, and you can have different strategies. So one strategy is if you're starting out and you're trying to just get people to know about you. So an awareness strategy, that's one. There are others that have an event they're promoting. So there's an event promotion strategy. So how do people know about the event? Who's going to be there? What type of guests do you have? There are those that are selling a specific service, a specific product. So then there's that promotion around the product. Some people have a free offer. So it's kind of their lead generation. So I'm trying to get just an opportunity to talk to you to then offer my business, whether that's a consultation or this free download, and I get your email. So that can be a strategy. So you want to first think think. What is it that I need to do? Am I raising awareness first? Or no, I've got an event, or no, I've got a special, I've got Black Friday, small Cyber Monday,
Right.
Small Business Saturday coming up, and I'll need to get some energy around that so people know about my sales. Then you back into, okay, now let me step back and think about what are the things I need to do. From a Facebook standpoint, they consider engagement likes, comments, and shares. So in their opinion, if a post has likes, comments, and shares, they consider that engagement. And as Shannon said earlier, they're going to show that in the news feed longer, and more people will get to see it. You probably seen a picture that you had from 4 years ago. Somebody clicked like, and then other people started clicking like. Has that ever happened to you? Like, where did that picture come from? That's 4 years old. Because Facebook saw engagement, just one like, and then it said, oh, wait a minute, people want to see this, and he put it back into the news feed. So
Now, is there a different weighting, in your opinion, between like, comments, and shares? Like, I always heard that shares were
yeah,
the big
shares
thing.
are the highest, comments the second, and then likes the so highest ranking shares, next ranking comments, and then likes.
Okay. So when we're making a like, a comment, or a share on someone else's post,
You're helping them.
you're helping them quite a bit. We put a GIF in there. Does it give me a higher? And
Yeah.
we have a GIF board going back and forth. I'm just,
Yes.
Okay. All right. So maybe you want to pick another platform, maybe LinkedIn. Or
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to talk about. So LinkedIn, why should you use it? Okay, so the first thing you want to do is completely optimize your profile. Get a good headshot, fill in all the blanks, fill it all out. Start asking people to give you testimonials on there. The next thing is connect. Every time I go to a networking function and I get folks business cards and I meet people, I immediately go to LinkedIn and I connect on LinkedIn with folks. And so the goal is that, early on, when I was trying to build my pages, my goal was to get to 500, because 500 people get you rock star status. And then from what I've been told, that actually gets you more visibility overall. And the more and more connections you have on LinkedIn, the more and more people are going to see your content as you're posting it. And that is, I have seen that to be true, because the more and more I'm using it, the more and more I'm connecting with folks, then I'm seeing my stuff is getting out there a lot quicker. So for B2B, that's huge, because you want to continue to connect, okay? And the bigger your web is, the more second connections you gain. Then you're not having to, worry about paying for it. Of course, I'm all about free. So I think I've ridden the free train for LinkedIn. I've never paid for it. So, the more you're in there and you're doing it, you're getting a really good representation for free. And then as far as what you put on there, they have, as Charvette talked about, the long form articles that you can use. If you have a blog where you have a specific subject matter or service or something that you want to promote, you can write an article and promote that. It's sort of LinkedIn's own sort of blog base. And LinkedIn likes that. It wants to share it. It wants to keep people on the platform. It's going to share your articles to other people, create videos. It's a great way for you to showcase your professional nature of what you do. So it's just a great connecting tool. And then people come to you and they say, I see you all over the place on LinkedIn, and you're like, yeah, well, good, that's the point, right?
That's what you want.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Would you say that for business, for both Facebook and LinkedIn, part of this objective is then to get them to connect with you offline, or I should say, off that social media platform?
Absolutely. I heard a gentleman named Lamar Tyler say that social media was like the club. And the point, you go to the club to get the numbers. I thought this was brilliant.
Yeah.
Lamar Tyler and Ronnie Tyler, his wife. So social media is like the club. And your only purpose really is to get numbers. But then you get that number to then go and ask and have coffee, and go sit at the lake and have a conversation, and go grab dinner. And so that's how you want to use social media to get them to get the number, whether that's an email or a consultation or over to your website or somewhere, to get them out of the club and to have that coffee or that date. And that's how you want to use social media.
We are back to the dance.
And I'm at a club in person.
There you go. Okay, just a couple of more to squeeze this in. the value of Facebook groups in particular, and I know LinkedIn also has groups as well. What is really that value? How can we use them to our advantage? You are like the Facebook groupie queen, not the groupie, you're a group queen.
I cannot express how important Facebook groups are. So if you don't take away anything else, video and Facebook groups, in particular if you're thinking about Facebook, because those groups allow people, leaders, to form audiences, and those audiences have your customers and your supporters. But you also may be in a place of having your own group. So I was a person that didn't really care for groups that much. I thought everybody and their mom has groups. You know, people add you into groups and you start getting notifications and you're like, where did this come from? Until one day I realized I was building an audience, but I didn't have a community. And so a Facebook group allows for you to have a community for your clients and your customers. And so 3 years ago, I started a Facebook group for female entrepreneurs, and our language is Hey Girl Hey. And one day I found these pink notebooks at Target that said Hey Girl Hey on them, and I took a picture of them.
Awesome.
in Target, the basket of full of these notebooks, and I posted it in the Facebook group. And they said, that's for our workshop, that's for our conference. I was like, oh wait, I'm not doing a conference. I'm not doing a. Long story short, by that December, I was hosting a conference. That was June 10th. By December that year, I was hosting a conference. This coming December, I'm going into my third conference.
Wow.
All because I not just built an audience, I built a community. And so go into other people's groups, and that'll give you an opportunity to showcase your business, your products, and your services, and you didn't have to build the audience, somebody else built it.
Wow. You can also meet like really good connections.
Yeah.
I think about one of my best sort of marketing friends that is in my life now. I met through a Facebook group, and she's a social media marketer. I'm a social media marketer, and I was able to find somebody to connect with on a professional level, and she lives in Norfolk and I live in Richmond, and so we meet in Williamsburg, and we have coffee and we talk, and so it's like now she's this friend of mine that I met on a group. Like I never would have met her if I wasn't in a group. Like it was an entrepreneurial, women entrepreneurial.
We all met. Connected with Julie because of a group, another group. So it's all true.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the group's going to the dance floor in the club. That's right. Or they're going to say, we're going to have a coffee when you're putting it on. What? Okay. All right. There is a really important one last question. How did you all confer with one another last night about wearing purple?
It was understood.
Yeah.
You wear purple.
Who asked that question? Right. Some people say, Mary, why don't you have red on? I'm like, because it clashes with purple. That's exactly right. I know that we covered a lot today. Great questions, terrific questions. You each have something to take away, to offer everyone. Shannon, why don't you share yours first?
Yeah, absolutely. If you're interested in following up with me, I've got a list of 10 tips for posting on Facebook. It's a PDF that I'll be happy to send you in an email. It's got some links on it, otherwise I would have brought the printout, but it's some really helpful tools. The other thing to note too is that anybody in this room who's interested, I do a free 30-minute discovery consultation. So if you have some hot button questions you want to ask me, that's an opportunity to do that. And then from there, I do a 10% discount on any other further consultation services.
And how would they want the PDF for the consultation? What do they do?
So if you could give me your card before you leave here, and just in case you want to reach out to me, my business card is on the table, so you can do that as well. But please give me your card so that I know to email that to you.
Great. Okay.
Awesome. And I have a 3-page PDF also related to Facebook. It's the essential tools and tips for Facebook for entrepreneurs. And you can grab that. There's a card right in front of you. And if you turn on the back of the card that has my beautiful face on it, there's a text, and I do that on purpose so you won't forget me. There's a text option. You text VET, that's my nickname, thanks to my mom. And there's a number, and then that'll get me your email, and then I'll send you an email with the download.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, let's give these gals a round of applause.